Yo, 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 we're back. Hey, what's up? Welcome to No Bones Kitchen. My name's Fraser. I just got a haircut combined with hat hair. So that's why my hair looks like that. And we're gonna get into it. Today's a holiday episode, hence the fun sweater. The snowman is feeling the global warming. So am I. It's 1,000 degrees in their apartment. So this is what you need. You need 2 cups of almonds. You can half the recipe, but this cheese is so banging. Honestly, you'll want to just keep it as is. 2 cups of almonds. These are just whole almonds from any store where you get your almonds. The Almond Tree, Bulk Barn. You know, maybe you live in California, you can grow your own almonds. Almonds are controversial, but you can sub it out with cashews. You can sub it out with sunflower seeds. You could sub pumpkin seeds. But I like almonds because they're great. And you want to soak them for a couple hours or overnight. We're going to be making this in a food processor, so there's no need for a expensive blender. The key to soaking them is they soften, and you can take the skin off like that, or you can leave the skin on. I am going to leave the skin on because, you know, I'm all about ease and making things easy. So if I tell you, you got to make this almond cheese ball and, you got to spend 4 hours taking the skins off, people aren't going to do that. And taking the skin off, it really is just about aesthetic. I do like things to look really nice, but at the same time, it's the holidays coming up. You might be stressed out because you don't have anyone coming over to your house because we live in a pandemic. But, and at the same time, no one is coming over. So you're the only one that's going to look at it. And all that matters is that it's going to taste absolutely banging. Okay, so the almonds are done, soaking for a couple hours. This is like gray black liquid. It's just from the almond soak. So we're going to drain that and wash these almonds. These almonds are clearly grown in the ground or off a tree, so they're a little bit dirty. In here we have some garlic powder, salt, and a little bit, that darker brown stuff is smoked salt. Smoked salt can be very expensive if you go to like a high-end grocer, but to be honest, I just got some coarse kosher salt and added a little bit of liquid smoke to it, stirred that around, and now you got smoked salt. So that's what I do. Yeah. So these 2 things are strictly for color and a little bit of flavor. These are sun-dried tomatoes packed in oil, mostly for color on this one. And then I didn't think about the sun-dried tomatoes first. I thought about this first for color. So this is just some chili paste, but this is a little bit spicy. So if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen or, just maybe not include this one. If you don't have sun-dried tomatoes, you could add jarred roasted red peppers really work, or just a raw bell pepper. This is really just for that red color. And then and then also you're gonna need some nutritional yeast, or as the hippies call it, nooch. Again, for that cheesy flavor. And then the next ingredients are for what you're gonna roll your cheese ball in. So these ingredients can really be, anything. You don't have to roll it in anything, but again, to make it look aesthetically pleasing, to hide the brown shells, we're gonna roll it in a little bit of vegan cheddar. This is hands down the best vegan cheese I've ever had. The brand's called Nafika's Garden. Look at that cheddar. Feels like a brick of cheddar. It grades really well. The next one is a herb of your choice. These are green onions. These are not a herb, but anything green I find is a nice festive kind of color. So we're going to use green onions because that's what I have, but it would also be really nice to maybe add some parsley or fresh thyme or fresh basil, anything green. And then since we used almonds in the cheese, we're going to be chopping some almonds and rolling the ball in some chopped almonds. These are almonds from Costco. But you could roll these also in toasted flaked almonds. I might actually toast these a little bit to give it a little bit more color, but we'll get there when we get there, We're figuring this out together. I've made this recipe like hundreds of times. So we're gonna start by rinsing and draining these almonds. And again, like I said, we're gonna make this in a food processor. You can make this in, sorry about the light, I know it's trash, but it's all I have. So we're gonna make this in a food processor because that's whatever, most people have that. Most people, I would say, do not have a Vitamix or a Blendtec, which would be ideal, but I like to show things to be approachable. So I'm just going to, again, rinse these almonds off really well because that water was pretty grimy. Give it a nice shakedown. Again, you can totally peel them all, but I'm just going to pop them all in here and it'll look like a lot, but it will all come together. You just have to trust me, all right? Then we're gonna add in our spices. This is the garlic and the smoked and normal salt. And since I'm using sun-dried tomatoes are pretty salty on their own. So I've kind of held off on the salt a little bit because I don't want to get too wild. Add those sun-dried tomatoes. Don't worry about chopping them up or anything. A food processor, it's kind of what it's meant to do, is chop things up. So now we're gonna add, I don't like things too spicy, so we're gonna add a little bit of this chili garlic paste. And then we're gonna hit it with the nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast, I don't really know any non-plant-based vegan, vegetarian person that knows what nutritional yeast is. It's very much a unique food to the vegetable people of the world, but this is a great kind of additive if you want to make things cheesier, more umami-y like. Yeah, we're gonna add like a 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast. In a lot of vegan cheese recipes you'll see online, you'll see nutritional yeast in almost all of them because it really gives that cheesy flavor. Oh, and then we're gonna add a little bit of water. So just grab a little bit of water here. And I like making it in that food processor because it's really controlled. You don't want to blend everything to a smooth, super smooth consistency. So we're just gonna get that going here. Just gonna take out a spatula and just scrape the sides down so everything can incorporate. It's looking a little chunky for me, so I'm gonna add the rest of this water. And by no means is my food processor like the best food processor in the world. It's actually the opposite. It's probably the worst one that I've personally ever used. Doesn't really do anything, but you know, just takes time. You just got to keep maybe mixing with the spatula a little bit longer than if you had a better food processor. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more water. So we've probably gone on to a 1/4 cup. I'm gonna write the recipe down below. Oh, making a lot of noise here. And you can see it's kind of where I want it, is at the bottom. So just gonna keep mixing it. And again, the problem with this food processor is that the blade is really small, so it doesn't have a lot of combining power. But you don't add too much water because then it will become like a sauce, and you want this to have a good consistency that you can roll it into a... So this is kind of where you want it. It's still obviously not 100% smooth, but it has some nice texture to it, and you can see it's kind of clumping up together. So we're going to put this whole thing in the fridge. You don't need to cover it because only for a couple minutes while we prep the rest of the ingredients here. So very important to clean as you go, then you're not like stressed out at the end of a meal. Toasted almonds, done. I just put the mixture in a bowl because I'm gonna stir in these green onions. And I think I might have grated a little bit too much cheese, so we're just gonna freestyle it here and put some cheese in. Mix that around. So this is probably gonna make 2 cheese balls, just being completely transparent here. Not 1, so maybe if you wanna make 1 cheese ball, make 1 cup of almonds and half everything else. So I'll leave that down in the description here. Just gonna grab some gloves. Because again, I don't know, comment down below if you have sensitive skin like I do. I think I might be allergic to tomatoes 100%, and any highly acidic food like citrus or nightshades, like I think tomatoes are nightshade, but like bell pepper, eggplant. So I don't know what it is. I think my skin's just not the best. So comment down below if you have skin issues. It's pretty fun. So you can see there's quite a bit of water coming out of here. So we're trying our best to squeeze that liquid out. If you don't want to squeeze it out and you're kind of grossed out by that, you can put the whole mixture in the fridge and that will really allow things to firm up overnight. But you know, if you got a party, you got people coming over like right now, then you don't got time to let it sit in the fridge. So now we're just gonna kind of pat the cheese onto the cheese ball, and then we're going to get our almonds here. They're still a little bit warm, but you know, and hopefully they stick to the cheese ball. But we are struggling here. But that's just the reality of life. You know, sometimes life's a struggle, but we'll get through it, you know, it'll still look good. These larger chunks of cheese, I'm just gonna put in the mixture. And there's your cheese ball. So if these almonds were cooler, it'd be easier to roll in the mixture, but it is what it is, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're going to take these stupid gloves off, put them in the sink. We're gonna clean up a little bit. And maybe we'll put this on a nice plate and wait for Dawn to get home and serve this to her. Or we're gonna take a little sample right now. Looks like a cheese ball to me. All right, so I think I had that head strap on for a little too tight. It's like leaving me a red mark right there. But what can you do, you know? You just gotta live and learn. So, that cheese ball was banging. It kind of tastes like a Dorito a little bit. I don't know why, but yeah, cheddary Dorito. So, if you're into making Dorito cheese balls for your friends and family, then go for it, you know? I'm gonna leave the recipe down below. Hope you enjoyed it. If you wanna watch my latest video about the Impossible Burger, you can click that right there. If you like what you saw here, then you can definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Perfect time right now to subscribe. You can follow me over on Instagram at thatplantedfork. You can check out my business at thatplantedfork.ca. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys are getting in the holiday spirit. Even if you're, you know, maybe you're depressed because Christmas is coming around and, you know, it's probably going to be no snow on the ground. And we're probably going to be in a lockdown, but depends where you are in the world. You know, that's the cool thing about the internet. I can film this video in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and someone in like the other side of the world could be watching. So my camera's gonna die. Classic. I need to get better at charging this thing. I hope you liked it. I hope the GoPro is working for you as well as it's working for me. And thank you so much. I appreciate you for tuning in, and have an excellent rest of 2020.